Alright, y'all, so this might be the most controversial video I've ever done on YouTube, and I feel like a lot of us need to learn and be educated on who to bring around your friends and family in case of an emergency. But at some point, a lot of us don't know how to trust certain people if they have this type of mindset in their minds of thinking that, oh, I like kids, I can do whatever they want with them. But the way that sounds, it sounds kind of suspect. But this individual, I've seen so many videos talking about her on TikTok, but they left certain information out about the situation. And I think we're about to cover this. And shout out to Didi for this video. Let's get to it.
Aware of this trophy wife, but I wanted to wait because I know with a lot of these stories, these salacious stories, they come out and typically there's more information that comes out, and then people are doing 2 and 3 and 4 videos, and I understand it because of course you capitalize off of that, but I kind of just sit back and wait for more information to come out to kind of get a grasp on what it is, to give my thoughts on it. These are serious allegations that this woman is making towards her, I guess, ex-husband at this point, or soon to be ex. And so you have to look at it and weigh what's being said. As you guys probably have seen, I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with this, the trophy wife. You know, she's gone viral for claiming that her husband essayed, I'll just say that, her daughters. She has 2 daughters by her husband, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she has two sons from a previous relationship, but she has 2 daughters from her husband. She considered herself, she has 2 daughters by her husband, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she has two sons from a previous relationship, but she has 2 daughters from her husband. She considered herself a trophy wife. I think she was giving women advice on relationships.
The wannabe sprinkle girl. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. So she has 2 kids from her previous relationships. Now she has 2 daughters. And you call yourself a trophy wife? Really? This is what happens when you get feminists on TikTok making fools out of themselves and claiming that they're the F factor because they have boobs, they have the you know what and the power. But once you marry that certain person, and if you put your kids in harm's way because you didn't know that he, or you knew that he was that way, then you're also at fault. I'm sorry.
A lot of her cues from Shira 7, the sprinkle lady, which child, I don't advise anybody to do that unless you want trouble, because to me, if you listen to that type of advice, you're going to run into some trouble. You're going to run into the wrong type of guys, and unfortunately that's allegedly what may be happening here, but we're not too sure. We're still, you know, watching it to see what other information comes out, because there are several videos, and we're going to talk about it because it always behooves me to pay attention to what people say and not jump on any bandwagon, because you don't know if people are truthful. You don't know if they're untruthful. You don't know. We don't know these people. So you don't know what is really going on. And we know in this day and age, social media, clout chasing, and all that is real. So a lot of people, you know, realize they need to get a bag, and they start lying about some stuff because they know a bunch of the hyenas are going to jump on it. A bunch of women are going to attack it and just run with it and believe it and start donating, start pulling out those pockets and giving to these people.
They always do that.
Did create a GoFundMe, and so I always wonder, why does everything have to be associated to a GoFundMe? You know, it's, you know, this is why I will say, look, and I'm on social media, I'm a social media content creator, but I still say, don't listen to me or anybody else before you listen to yourself.
Exactly.
Learn how to distinguish some morals and values, and learn how to judge things for yourself and use common sense. Don't jump into any relationship with anybody until you vet that person properly. Don't just go out thinking because somebody got money or because they look good that, oh my God, you gotta get with them and jump with them, and not realize that.
And that's exactly my point. Because you see, they don't want to do that. They always chase the bad boys. And that's the thing that I've been saying all the time on social media. The thing about people nowadays is that they don't really think with their brains. They think with their body parts. Let's say if you meet a hot chick and she's good looking, she's got a butt, she got a booty, she got a titties, and she's got the whole package, but she's not really that bright or intelligent. But you just want to hit it and quit it anyway because she got a booty, she got a fatty, right? But what happens 6 months later when she comes in contact with you and you find out that you knocked her up, which means that you got her pregnant because you weren't thinking clearly. You was thinking with your junk. This goes for females too. Y'all think with your coochies. You think with your big titties and big booties, and you think with your what. You don't think with your brains. You don't think about the consequences of you having sex with a bunch of men and knowing that there are possibilities that you could end up getting pregnant. You let them hit a raw, and you end up popping out them babies, and now you're going to end up being a single mother. Because, again, you made a bad decision of sleeping with a bunch of people that you don't know, and then all of a sudden, you're going to get situations like this. Once their kids get to a certain age, and you realize that, yeah, you messed up as an individual. I mean, both men and women don't think. That's why I've always said you got to be careful of who you let your kids around. Come on now.
Consequences associated with that. You don't know who these people are. And I think when you listen to the sprinkle lady or anybody else who's giving you this superficial advice, you make horrible decisions like this. The dichotomy of the way people think is so backwards. It's just backwards. When we, oh, if he got money, oh, you ain't got to worry about vetting him. Oh, just get him, have him buy stuff for you, spend money on you. That's all they care about. But all of the stuff that these women are being taught that they should be focused on, focus on this and how he dressed and his shoes. I said over and over and over again, none of that ish matters. The focus is on the wrong things. And if she's telling the truth, I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know these people, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't put anything past anybody that you don't really know. You didn't take time to vet. You're looking at other things, superficial things that outweigh your judgment. One thing that I know is constant with people who that's been done to is that when you have children, you are super cautious with who you let your kids hang. I don't know about who you let your kids hang around, who you let watch your kids. You're overprotective of your children when you've been through something like that. But from what I'm hearing from this story, this woman has she has two sons from a previous relationship.
I want to speak on that part where she says that you're overprotective over your kids because of what you've been through. In some aspects, I kind of understand why they're like that. But sometimes, in certain degrees, you don't have to put that onto the child. Just because it happened to you, it can happen to your child. All you got to do is protect them. Don't force them. Don't make them. But just protect them and show them how much you love them and you care about them. Sorry. Because if you put too much pressure on your child, then that child is going to end up showing resentment towards you because of what you're doing. They're going to think that you're doing too much as a parent. And I'm not saying that all parents are like that. I'm basically saying that you have to be careful of how you raise them. Because they're going to probably think there's something wrong with you. Sometimes times heal. And if you're not healed, then you need to seek therapy.
He was dating other people. It's just a lot going on. And, and at this point, we don't know what really happened, but You got to look at a person's history. You got to look at their credibility based on the choices that they've made and the things that they've done. That's all you can go off of. I just hope and pray nothing happened to those kids. But I think with women, what they try to do, some women, this is not all women. I'm not putting all women in this whatsoever, but I got to make that clear. For some women, they don't think about these types of things. When you're doing what you want to do for you, that's all that matters. You're not thinking about the outcome of the kids, how these kids are going to fare, what these kids are subjected to, who they're subjected to, what could possibly happen. They're not thinking about that. All they care about is getting to the bag. And you got people out here pushing this, getting to the bag. Girl, get him with some money. Girl, he broke it. He dusty and this and all this other dumb stuff that really doesn't matter. And then on top of that, now you're not a trophy wife anymore. Bragging about being a trophy wife. What does that mean when you don't have the real, probably, I'm assuming, because just because you call yourself a trophy wife, what does that really mean?
They believe in their own lies. That's the problem.
A lot of these people don't have the real values and real, understanding of what it takes for real. It just be a bunch of BS. People get on social media and sell this stuff to unsuspecting women who think this is the way it's supposed to go. And as soon as something hit the fan, they still don't get the accountability. A lot of this stuff on social media is a bunch of BS. I'm hoping and praying, y'all, that these children nothing happened to these innocent babies. I just think the children are always the innocent bystanders.
Yeah,
and
they
I just
are.
hope nothing happened to those babies. And I'm hoping, this is not.
She was born on the 1st of November, so I'm not gonna say her name out of respect for my cousin and her daughter. But I also have little nieces and nephews that I think about every day. I don't want to be coming on social media to make up these false allegations for attention, because I want people to just give me sympathy because I find out that my daughter or my son was SA'd by a person that I cannot trust anymore. Like, I would have dealt with the situation properly instead of getting online and just try to get attention from people. Unless if it's going to be an important video to educate those that have been through the same situation as other parents that are dealing with children that are being SA'd, then I will. But if she is telling the truth about her daughters being SA'd about how long, then I'm gonna give her my sympathy. But if it ends up being the other way around, I can't support liars, especially if you lie about your children being SA'd and you ended up making that the father look bad. And again, I'm not saying that she is, but I'm saying that sometimes as a parent, you have to take accountability for your failure as a parent of not protecting your kids.
And all of this is a whole nother level of clout chasing. But this is involving children, which is unfortunate, but this is, I don't know, I guess we'll see how this all unfolds. Now we're going to move on to this clip of her husband's niece. So this is the husband's niece who's come out and telling her side of it. Let's hear what she had to say. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dee, and
I'm not going to lie. The husband's niece, she a baddie. She cute too, but that's not what's important here, so don't get the wrong ideas.
Husband. I know you know who the trophy wife is because she's been going up and down my timeline for the last couple of days. Her name is Isis, or Paloma, which is her real name. This lady is
Paloma.
Completely insane. Her and my uncle got together really quick. She thought that she was getting a come up with my uncle, but then when things didn't go her way and she pretty much seen that she could no longer hide the things that she was doing behind closed doors, she ended up trying to find a different route, which was to come on here and lie to you all and tell you that her daughter had been touched by her dad, which that is not the case. Her daughter had been touched by her son, and she didn't want anybody to know because she wanted to try to make it seem like my uncle was the bad guy because she wasn't.
What? So you mean to tell me after all this time, we thought the uncle was the bad guy, but she's the real villain here? And you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. They come on here, they try to make the man look bad, but it was the son the entire time. I don't know. Where did he learn how to touch people though? Because if this is how it's gonna be nowadays when it comes to parents not raising their children right, oh, we have a problem here. But the fact that the son molested their sister, you know, it's funny because I posted a TikTok short about following certain influencers who have OnlyFans accounts, especially those who are proclaimed men's rights activists, to remind people to go to their exclusive site for exclusive hot, spicy content, which is OnlyFans. And you're supposed to be representing men's rights, men's issues. The same can be said about this individual giving out bad advice about how to be a trophy wife, how to get a good man to spend his all of his monies on you, so you'll be treated like the queen that you are. Look what happened. Sometimes people just be believing their own lies. They don't believe in the truth. And the truth of the matter is that she came on social media and lied. So whatever you seen them crying on social media, look for the real reasons as to why this situation occurred and why this and that happened. Rhoda Osman, for example, aka the Brick Lady, lied about being hit by a brick, but it was a bottle the entire time. Lied to this man and tried to ruin this man's life. And now she got locked up, stole everybody's money, and ended up making $42,000 in GoFundMe because she wanted to gain sympathy from people and the simps as well that believed her. So my advice to anybody that is watching this, don't believe what you see and read on the internet, because if the truth comes out, talk about it.
What she was saying, because
I bet
Paloma had already put, or ISIS had already put out a case against my uncle because my uncle was furious when he found out that her oldest son was touching the girls.
Oh, he's the oldest.
He went out and tried to, seek help to figure out what he should do about getting her son away from the girls so that they would no longer have to go through this. But as soon as he did that, ISIS went and took papers out on him, claiming that he did it because she didn't want her son to go down for it.
Baby, listen, what do you guys think about this? This would be a twist of events if this is true. Once again, this is all alleged.
Whether it's true or not, she's a monster. Whether it's her or him that is responsible of what happened to her daughter. And whether we know about these people or not, They're the ones responsible of putting their business out there. You're giving them plenty of reasons to be suspicious of you because of your actions. This is crazy.
Oh, but what in the world? So this is the niece now. And I see some people, and I've saw people in other people's posts saying, "Oh, the niece is lying because that's her, that's her uncle, so she's defending him." And then some people are saying her story seems plausible.
So basically,
I've seen
she's
some
getting
people
mixed
who
reactions
I
as
thought
well.
would go a different way, said they believe the niece.
She's sitting over here acting like she's the best parent in the world, when look for yourself, y'all will see that she has a child abuse case of her own. Her youngest son she tried to put it on my uncle that he abused her youngest son, which loves my uncle to death. But the day that her...
Hey, I'm confused about all of this. She's trying to say that the youngest son also played a huge role in the situation and try to put it out on him as well. This whole thing is confusing me right now. Like I don't get it.
There that my uncle had abused her son, he wasn't in the state. So once they went to the hospital and they took the little boy to the hospital, the one thing that they didn't do this time is the social workers pulled him aside and started asking him questions and asked him, "Who hurt you?" The little boy told and said that it was her. Not only that, her oldest son has sent my uncle threatening messages. He has rubbed poop on the walls at multiple family members' house, including theirs. He has pushed his younger brother down the stairs to the point where he had a concussion, and she didn't want to take him to the hospital because she didn't want them to know that she had, a son that had been abusing all her other kids. And then not only that, he hasn't just touched the two girls, he's touched all three of the kids. He's touched his little brother, he's touched his 4-year-old sister, and he's touched his 2-year-old sister. But all of this will come out eventually.
I think it needs to come out.
This is crazy.
Whatever the truth is, it needs to come out, because if the allegations are false, that's horrible, and if they are false against the husband, false in any way, it needs to be dealt with. The truth needs to come out. If the allegations against the father are false, then I think there needs to be consequences behind that. But a lot of times, there aren't. When it's the father who's being, if it's a lie, usually if it's a woman lying on the man, she gets to just walk off in the end. There's no consequences, no jail time, no nothing, if they're false. But I think if these are false allegations, then she needs to be prosecuted, if that's the case.
Definitely.
My thing is, you're sitting over here saying that he did all of this stuff, but if he did, the police themselves said that he would be in jail. They would have took him to jail as soon as the hospital said,
"That's what I thought.
Oh my gosh, the baby's been touched." He would have been in booking right away. He wouldn't be out right now working. He wouldn't be out right now being bothered with all of this extra stuff that you're putting on him because of the fact that you want money. What mother uses this platform to sit up there and say, my babies have been touched? Excuse me.
Okay, so now this part,
this is sick, bro.
This is something she posted on social media. She said, "I'm so tired of misinformation."
To sit up there and say, my babies have been touched. Excuse me.
Okay, so now this part, the wife, this is something she posted on social media. She said, "I'm so tired of misinformation. My daughters are his biological children." So I think somebody was asking whether his daughters are his, right? That is his daughters, but she have 2 sons from previous relationships or whatever. She says this could happen to anyone, and of course it could. Also, I knew this man for a 6-month period. 6 months, that's not a long time. Before I became...
What the hell? First of all, How do you know this individual within over 6 months? Like usually, if you meet somebody new, you would have spent 5 years as boyfriend and girlfriend before you decide to put a ring on it and get married. But 6 months though, that's insane. I I just don't understand this generation, dude, because you barely know this man, and you met this man 6 months ago. You've been together for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you got married out of the blue. And then you put out this statement. I have questions.
He had no prior charges other than some speeding tickets. I saw every speeding ticket he ever had before I agreed to go on a first date. My dating profile said I had no children, which that's not true, right? She did. I never married for money. I married because he pretended to have all the same values as me. I married to build a family on a solid foundation. He never showed signs of being a PD file, but yes, I'll take the blame. There's also another content creator who has two daughters by her husband, their biological father. Would she also be a dumb pygmisha if her husband did the same to their daughters? So listen, y'all, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all definitely hit the like button on your way out. I will continue to watch this case to see what actually happens, who's lying, who's telling the truth, and hopefully no.
I'm gonna leave this video here. Like I said, don't trust any influencer that has a dark past or a, a sickening backstory, especially like this. One thing's for sure, the truth will come out. It's a he said, she said moment. But I stated what I said earlier, that you failed as a parent to protect your child. So instead of you come on social media and try to put on a show for everybody, oh, woe is me because my daughter this and that. How about you take some responsibilities and accountability of not protecting your daughter or being a bad parent? But they're not going to do that. So, yeah, if y'all want the original video, we'll be down below. And I'm going to catch you on my next one.